Haiti's army has had a notorious reputation. When the U.S. occupied the country 100 years ago, it was used to suppress a nationalist insurgency. Later, dictators Francois and Duvalier used it to oppress popular dissent. Then the Duvaliers were ousted from power and the army disbanded. Its critics pointed out the Caribbean country had no sworn enemies and funding was scarce. Those critics still exist today. But the UN is winding down a 13-year-long peacekeeping mission. And despite having a 15,000-strong police force, the Haitian government says it needs a military to patrol the border for contraband and continue rebuilding the country after a series of natural disasters. I'm joined now from London by Bokshe Edmond. He's the charge d'affaires at the Haitian Embassy in the United Kingdom. From New York, policy advocate Jocelyn McCullough. He served as executive director of the National Coalition for Haitian Rights. And from Miami, Eduardo Gamarra. He's a professor of political science at Florida International University. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Bokshe Edmond, if I can begin with you, sir. Haiti wanting to staff up its army again, wanting to relaunch its army again. Is this the right time?
Of course it is the right time, because let me start off by saying thank you for the invitation and refer to you to the constitutions of the Republic of Haiti. It is said in this Article 263, there are two different forces in Haiti, the armed forces of Haiti and the national police. Therefore, it's a matter of legal decision. It's a right of the president to fulfill or to implement what the Constitution says. It's a wish of the Constitution. Therefore, we need to go ahead and implement the Article 263 of the Constitution.
Yes, Mr. Edmond, undoubtedly, every country should have its army and has a right to. But my question is it the right time, given that Haiti hasn't had a lot of stability in recent years, and Haiti hasn't had a lot of central government control over all the people with weapons in the country?
Let me respectfully disagree with you on that. The armed forces existed before. Unfortunately, that armed forces had some very troubling past. But it is very important to consider that a country which is fabric has started with armed forces, because we had a revolution and we defeated the French army then, and we became a nation. Therefore, the nation of Haiti was funded by the military, by the armed forces. If you even look at our armor corps, you will see cannons, you will see weapons. I mean, this is in our DNA. Mm-hmm. I understand some people may have some concerns with regards to the time, if it is the right time. But I must tell you that all sectors, and I can even refer to you, to all presidential candidates of the last election, all of them presented the return of the army and their program.
Good points.
All of them.
Okay, good points.
Therefore,
yes.
there is a national consensus on the idea.
Okay, so there's national consensus. Haiti deserves its army. Jocelyn McCullough, the man makes a good argument, doesn't he? The time is right.
No, I don't think he makes a good argument. I think it's really a lot of nonsense. First of all, I would challenge the notion that there is a consensus on the need to rebuild the Haitian army. The second thing I would say is that right now what the government is doing is essentially mounting a little token force of about 500 people or so. And that means that, yes, there are going to be a lot of takers because there's a lot of unemployment, and the idea being that, well, if you could get employed and so on, then you will be able to make a living. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Haitian armies in the last 40 years have essentially preyed on the people of Haiti, not provided the safety and security that a military would provide. And I'm afraid that what is in the works, in fact, are elements of the same thing. The government does not have the funds nor the resources to even pay its current police force or to maintain its police force at the current level. I can't see how the government is going to be able to maintain or and grow an army in Haiti at this point. I think that Haiti, there's a lot of things that Haiti can do to provide security and safety to the nation. One of the things that it needs to do is to really strengthen the police force, strengthen the judiciary, make sure that people refer to the law, to the courts, as means by which to resolve their problems. And to some extent, Haiti needs to move into the directions that essentially make it palatable for people to invest in the country.
So let's take
the Haitian army is not going to do that.
Let's take one of those things that you said and ask Bokshe Edmund, sir, why don't you strengthen the police force first? You've got 15,000 policemen, men and women in the country. Strengthen that police force.
Let me tell you something. I respectfully disagree with Mr. Makala. He's a great human rights defender. I know him for a long time. I've been following his work. But let me tell you, sir, you are talking about an old army. You're talking about the past. But now there is an issue here. You're talking about the national police to strengthen it. The police, I should give credit to the National Police Force for the last 14 years. They have been very effective, even though with some lack of resources for them. But they have been very great, effective. But there's another issue here. We need to understand that our national police was not trained to do military work. Our national police is a civil force. It's a civil force trained to maintain law and order.
If I could intervene,
but now we're talking about.
I think we're talking
about. No, listen to me. No, listen to me. Listen to me. You have to listen to me, please. Now we're talking about protecting our borders, our maritime borders, our land borders. We're talking about serving, and when it comes to natural disasters, something that we have every single year.
Okay, good point. So let me then ask Jocelyn. Let's ask Jocelyn.
We cannot continue to talk about strengthening
so Jocelyn, why not have both?
While we are neglecting.
Certainly. Good point, Bokshe. Jocelyn, why not have both? Have the police force for your internal boundaries and have the army for contraband, for the borders, to help with natural disasters.
Absolutely.
Maybe if there was an army,
that's the main objectives.
Sure, Jocelyn, maybe if there was an army during the earthquake, maybe fewer people would have died. Jocelyn?
Absolutely. That was my point. That was my point.
Tell me why, Jocelyn.
I'm sorry, but this is not the case. Whether or not you had an army, the earthquake would have caused as much damage as it did, because the people who died on the earthquake is because of shoddy construction in Haiti, and the fact that the government has been so dysfunctional that it has not been able to maintain.
No, this is not true.
Can I finish, please? It has not been able to maintain even a modicum of authority over the building codes and so on. So let me finish.
Jocelyn, let me add
the Haitian army would not.
Mr.
Haitian army
Mr. Edmund, give Jocelyn a second.
Have,
give him a second. Jocelyn, go ahead.
Yes. The fact is that you do need a group of people who are ready and trained to respond to emergencies. And obviously, given the fact that every year tropical storms hit Haiti in one form or another, then you need to strengthen that kind of civil service. Unfortunately, that civil service institution has not been strengthened. So there should be more resources provided to that component.
Okay.
Second thing is,
unfortunately, Mr. Makala, you have not seen the white book, the white paper that was written and prepared by the Haitian government with the help of the Organization
I don't
of
have to
American
see the white paper. I don't have to see the white paper that's been written on.
This is the main objective. We are not trying to rebuild an army with guns, with tanks, and so on. We're trying to rebuild an army where youth will be at the service of their own country. It is a civil service
and you both disagree vehemently.
We are not trying to do that. It seems to me this is the wrong way to understand the project.
No, and you made your point really well. Okay, so now, Eduardo Gamarra, I don't want you to feel left out. I wanted you to come in a little bit later on because you're not as, I guess, you're not as polarized as the other two are on this issue. And I wanted to give them an opportunity initially to set out their arguments. And a few minutes in now, you've heard what both gentlemen have had to say. Who's making the better argument? Who's more right here, Eduardo?
Well, you're putting me in a difficult position, but I'll simply tell you that I think both are making very, very strong points. Let me begin, for example, with some of the points that Mr. McCallum made from New York. The reality is that the Haitian armed forces have a terrible historical record. And the big fear has always been that refounding a military in Haiti will bring back the specter of an abusive military, a corrupt military, and a military that overthrew a democratically elected president. So that specter is always there. At the same time, it's very important to note that over the last 14 years, Haiti has essentially given up its sovereignty to a foreign force called MINUSTAH, which, and I've done major public opinion polling in Haiti over the last 7 or 8 years, and there is no more unpopular force than MINUSTAH. Haitians have not liked the presence of a foreign force to provide them with public security, with border security, and to perform precisely the functions of responding to natural disasters and the sort. The reality also is, as the ambassador was pointing out, that the national police in Haiti has performed remarkably well. It is today one of the, in terms of popular perception, it is one of the most highly rated police institutions in all of the Americas, and that's really quite a remarkable statement to make. Haiti is not as insecure as most people believe it is. If you go into certain neighborhoods, certainly it is, but overall Haiti has done fairly well, and a lot of it has been the result of good police work and the presence of MINUSTAH.
Right.
What was absent from the discussion is the fact that MINUSTAH is leaving Haiti, and it's leaving Haiti, and there will be an enormous vacuum there, which the national police on its own cannot fill.
Okay, so let me ask Jocelyn McCullough then. Jocelyn, who's going to fill that vacuum if not an army?
Well, let us remind ourselves that the peacekeeping forces were deployed to keep peace, and if we're correct, that Haiti is one of the safest places and has been one of the safest places, and in that sense, then what we're looking at here is that MINUSTAH has been, I mean, the peacekeeping forces of MINUSTAH have been, in fact, superfluous, to a great extent. In fact, Haitians would call them touristas rather than peacekeepers, because they have, in fact, rarely intervened except in the early years, back in the period 2004-2006, at the request of the government of Haiti, because they were dealing with what, in fact, were police issues in the capital city of Port-au-Prince. But the peacekeeping is not necessarily an issue that in fact, the Haitian military is going to be able to keep, and so on. First of all, and second of all, let us remember that we're looking at a token force. We're looking at a token force of about 500 people. MINUSTAH had at some point about 10 to 12,000 people.
Right. This is not 500 people.
About 1,500
well
or so civilian.
Police
forces.
No, sir. This is not 500 people. It is well said. This is a project that we are starting with 500 youth. This is not a force going to be 500 people a bit. What you should know, I mean, it seems to me, Mr. McCullough did not get your question because he didn't answer it. The vacuum that will be left after MINUSTAH. But we need to understand. Now,
so what is the vacuum that's going to be left after MINUSTAH?
Not only listen to me. Not only we have to deal with natural disaster every year. We need to protect our borders.
MINUSTAH did not get itself involved in responding to natural disasters. That was not his mission.
But you made your point.
The mission of MINUSTAH was to maintain the peace.
Mr. McCullough, you made your point. Let me make mine now, okay? So it is very important to understand that there is a responsibility of the legitimate authorities to start thinking the steps to be taken once MINUSTAH has been leaving the country, because they are in the process. We understand, and as I stated before, the National Police Force has been very effective for the last 14 years, but we need to understand that the National Police Force was not trained to carry out those kind of jobs.
Okay.
They are here to maintain law and order.
And you made that point
Therefore,
earlier, sir. Undoubtedly, yes.
I need to put emphasis on it because sometimes we need to forget that.
Okay,
we
duly
tend to
noted.
forget the idea,
Emphasis duly noted.
That, you know?
Okay, certainly, emphasis duly noted. I want you all to listen to what the head of the UN peacekeeping mission to Haiti, Sandra Honore, had to say very recently, and I'll ask you something off the back of it. Have a listen.
Thanks to the collaboration of the United Nations Blue Helmets and the Haitian National Police in promoting security, the essential bases to reinforce the state institutions have been established, and the President, Jovenel Moïse, and the Prime Minister, Jacques-Guy Lafontaine, have shown evident signs with regards to their programs for additional reforms.
So I hate to say it, but it sounded like a mission accomplished speech. Eduardo, did it warrant that?
Yes, it did. Of course it did, because obviously the UN wants to leave on a very positive footing, and they want to leave saying that when they leave, there will not be that vacuum. And the reality is, however, and I think the most important point is that Haiti has been often described as a failed state. I have never classified Haiti as a failed state, but as an incomplete state. And you know, to be able to perform the functions of the state, one of the things that Haiti has to do is to be able to have full control over its national territory. And whether that is by fully expanding the role of the police and making it a truly national police, because really, frankly, outside of Port-au-Prince and maybe Cap-Haïtien, the police really does not perform in the rural areas. Haiti does not have any kind of ability to enforce borders, and so it's not only a problem of out-migration to the Dominican Republic, which becomes then an international issue, but also the flow of goods, of contraband and so on, that severely affects the Haitian economy. There is no ability of the Haitian state to have full control over its national territory. So I can see the logic and the argument for establishing a military and establishing a full presence to establish full control. Right. What I would say, however, and I think that this is where the Haitians have done some things right, and maybe it was because of the presence of MINUSTAH and the international community. But if Haiti is going to pursue the construction of a new military force, then it has to make sure that it is a trained military responsible for you know, with full vetting of human rights, right. That it doesn't just simply tap into the old guard, that this is a modern professional institution, and that isn't, you know, enamored of toys, but that in fact is performing more National Guard kinds of duties.
Let me pose some of those
questions. Those are you know,
certainly.
the duties of.
These are good points, right? National Guard sort of duties, well trained, tremendously slick, if you like, not just some sort of ragtag army. Bokshe Edmond, as the Charge d'Affaires in London, as somebody who's a former ambassador, somebody who represents your country, can you really give guarantees that given Haiti's history, this army will not be used against its own people, and also that this army won't be so weak so as to become a target for maybe militias in a coup d'etat where they get all the benefits of being the army because there's a new institution that allows somebody to wield power in the country? Can you give those guarantees?
The most important thing, I would say yes. I think the most important thing is sometimes we tend to forget. It is, most of the time, the armed forces we had in the past, it's unfortunate they had a very bad record sometimes on human rights. But now we're talking about the present and the future. Certainly, the civil society we have now in Haiti is even stronger. Therefore, we understand they are the watchdog. They will get involved in it and they will follow the process. But why sometimes we tend to forget the other armies in the region that has had a very bad record as well. But they was not dismantled. They reformed them. Now they put them under the control of the civil authorities. Why and Haiti couldn't be done like this.
Right.
But it is very important now if we want to start over and we started to build a new armed forces. It's very important to involve, to get everybody's involved in it. It is a national thing. It is not something that the government or the authorities are trying to do against another group. This is not the case.
Okay.
What I will tell you, 20 years ago, or recently 10 years ago, the resentment against the return of an armed forces was very high. But nowadays, taking into account the experience of MINUSTAH, me as a citizen of Haiti, I'm not talking here as a diplomat right now for this moment, for what I'm going to say. As a citizen, I'm not going to say that the MINUSTAH did not help, and did MINUSTAH help Haiti to some extent, but the record, the legacy they will leave behind sometimes is questionable.
Okay. Jocelyn, are you willing to give them a chance?
I think Haitians, given a chance, will do their best in order to build a nation that they can be proud of. The problem that we have here today is the fact that the government of Haiti is absolutely dysfunctional, is very weak. It cannot even pay teachers to educate.
Okay, Bokshit Edmond and Jocelyn McCullough, as well as Eduardo Gamara. It's been a pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.